The first thing I truly noticed about this film, I like me and David have been friends for quite some time, and we've been working together since we've been friends. And I've been told I have a bit of an ego, and thus the King Humble behind me right there. I'm pointing at I'm literally looking at myself, pointing at myself, talk about myself to you guys, and later I'm gonna watch myself, look at myself, talk about myself, pointing at myself. Later, say that 3 times fast. But
And our one audience member is back there rolling her eyes because
well, I mean, because she knows it's true. With that being said, it was really, I thought, they say birds of a feather flock together, and that truly must be true because the first tie-in I saw was Sunny Fit.
oh yeah, what was that?
Sunny Fit, he'll throw up the link for Sunny Fit there now, and there's this guy by the name of Earl the Curl. Shout out to Tarantino Jones for playing him, and I know you're like, dude, there's nowhere you're coming back to Vanilla Sky.
Yeah, I have no idea where you're going.
Okay, because you're
Very
gonna love
intrigued.
this. Check this out again.
Tech support.
Oh no, you won't need tech support for this one. I was trying to figure out why did my friend David Eugene Polanski love this film so fucking much, and then out of nowhere it fucking hit me. In the Sunny Fit skit with Earl the Curl, he gets off on screaming his own name and hearing it, and so finally, as I'm watching this film, it hits me that the lead character's name is David. And so David likes to hear his name all the way through the movie, even when it starts and it says, "Open your eyes, David. Open." No, no, it's my turn. No, you listen. Close your mouth and open your eyes, David. Because what I saw is that my friends get off on hearing their own name. And that's the first connection I saw. You sick bastard.
If that were the case, I would be a bigger fan of the Old Testament.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's not even going to save you today. So David gets off on hearing his own name, and that was a fun way to get Sunny Fit into there as well. That is crazy, man. So I didn't. I was on your IMDb looking at a lot of stuff. I had no idea you had worked on Enemy of the State, man. That is like one of my top 5 films of all time, man. I love Enemy of the State, man.
Well, watching the three top things for me on that movie was number one, Tony Scott, and then the other two neck and neck were Will Smith and Gene Hackman.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was quite a remarkable film to be on. And I got to hang out with those guys and listen to stories. But I took my schooling from Tony Scott on that. Everybody thinks because I wear a pink hat that it's copying Tony Scott. Actually, it's not. I have 5 friends that have survived breast cancer, and this one woman who actually makes snacks for the craft service guys that I helped her get into it. She was on the operating table, had cancer, and ended up having a seizure, and they stopped, and she lost 42 years of her memory. And I had bumped into her at CBS when I was working on a show, and we were talking. I didn't know her at that point. I knew her husband, and we were talking. I said, my hair's thinning. I've got, sunspots, and I got to go to. I'm afraid of cancer. She says, yeah, I had this thing with cancer, and she said, would you wear a pink hat? I said, yeah, I'm not it's not going to affect my sexuality. I don't care. I said, why? And she says, well, because I think you see all these people that it'll be a conversation piece because of breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was about 5-6 years ago. She sent me in a box of 50 of these hats. And I think this is like my 43rd hat, So, taking that, but hearing the compliments of people saying, God, I thought you were Tony Scott. In fact, when I was on Blade Runner and I was out, in the set, somebody had said, oh my God, Ridley Scott was looking and, said, we all thought that you looked exactly like Tony Scott. It was kind of a weird moment. So I said, well, I'm not wearing it because of that, but it is a compliment, Hopefully I could do the right thing and direct like that, but I never would think that I could fill his shoes.
I think ultimately it was a good movie when it was when it originally came out, but
mean the Spanish version? Yes, I agree.
Yeah, like, and for the time that it was like introduced to the world, I think the early 2000s. But there are been so many movies that have done it so much better. That
Yeah.
whole thought line, and like it. It also helps that those other movies that have done it since then had characters that like I liked.
Right.
Like,
Other
I
than
feel
just
like,
one.
what am I supposed to feel bad for the fucking billionaire
No.
rich boy? Like, why am I supposed to feel bad for David? I'm supposed to give a shit about his great life. Oh no! Why is it that only rich white people can act like idiots and be completely fine?
I didn't feel bad for him. I just felt I looked at it as like a beautiful tragic love story. I didn't really care too much about him, but I could appreciate what he was going through as far as falling in love with this girl or the idea of this girl, and then
Oh, yeah.
spending 150 years frozen being tortured by that. That I thought that was done effectively, and the guilt that he felt over.
Hey, save it for your Thanksgiving, man. Don't preach it to me.
Yeah. I'll save it for the segment, for the appropriate segment.
Please do.
Which that TV in that scene where that goes down into the floor,
Phillips.
they actually built that. They invented that for that scene.
And now they sell them all over everywhere.
Do they? They're coming up. Okay.
Yeah, coming out the floor. Yeah.
Where does it go?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I sincerely appreciate your thoughts, and because you did that, I told you this in person, and I won't get into it too much in this because it's in the episode, but I said I would publicly say it if you were honest and gave Vanilla Sky an honest rewatch. I have since come around on Jackie Brown. I now in season 1 when we did that episode, I was
Don't say it. Just show them.
I was pretty adamant about Pulp Fiction being better than Jackie Brown. I've since changed my mind. It is it has grown on me without even having to watch it again. It just got into me, and yeah, I would say it is the better.
A little motherfucking bit, a big motherfucking bit. How about
just a little motherfucking bit.
So,
Okay.
but what do you think?
Oh well,
Do we got time for that?
Oh no, we did this earlier, but what I think, I told him what I think. I think Jason Lee's character is the reason why all this happened. He was so hateful on his life because his best friend had everything, and the one thing Jason Lee wanted, he still got. So he went down there and broke guy code and said, "Hey, you're just his buddy," and then there you go. The movie starts. Now it goes crazy.
I like to believe that everything tech support said on the way up the elevator is actually what happened, how it went down the timeline, but I'm torn on the fact when he says he wants to go back to real life and he jumps off the building. I just consider the fact that he only lived like real life as we know it, or as it's commonly known as, for 33 years, but he lived this other lucid dream for 150 years. So at that point, what is really real life? So what
Right.
was he? And the fact that you hear Sophia at the end saying, "Open your eyes," I go back and forth between either he's waking up to 150 years in the future and he's just haunted by Sophia, or they considered real life to be the lucid dream and they send him back to that. You're just shaking your head. So
No. I will say this: the sign of a good film is always when we can have these discussions and everybody can listen. So I will say that at least cross that path. A personal question here, not really personal. What I was going to ask, because you said drumming is your passion. Did you ever hear of the Rainn Wilson film from probably like 12 years ago, The Drummer? Because I need to know if I went. I need to see check and see if your credits are in there anywhere. I want to know. Did you ever check that out?
No, I haven't checked that film out. Have not. So that's one I have to watch and check out.
Yeah, he kills in there. Trust me, he shreds whatever they call whatever it is that you do. He does, but not like you do it because you do it for real.
Totally. No, I think I saw parts of it in a hotel room because I got to tell you, when I'm watching the most television is when I'm traveling and doing road dates and stuff, and I'm sitting in a hotel room because when I'm home here, I hardly watch a lot of television. Although my girl and we just started watching The Sopranos from the start. So we're gonna watch The Sopranos all the way through.
is this your first time experiencing it, or are you rewatching?
No, I've seen a bunch of them intermittently, and I just want to start from the beginning and go through the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
it is. I'll just say,
It's working.
I took that ride and we binge watched The Sopranos before binge watching was a thing, my wife and I, and
Yeah.
it put me in such a weird reality in my head, living in like the world of Tony Soprano, that there'd be times where I only had the similar effect when I played too much Grand Theft Auto. Like I would be driving down the street and I'd just think like, I'll put that motherfucker in my trunk right now. Like it would be like murder became so normal.
You were whacking people?
Dude,
I was thinking about it.
that is funny, dude. That's because last night I'm like brushing my teeth and I'm starting to talk. Where's the goddamn toothpaste? You know, I'm starting to talk like like a mafioso dude. Like, where'd you put the dental floss?
What do you think about Tool? Like man, like they're because their timing, and I'm speaking from a perspective where I'm totally ignorant to what I'm talking about now, but
No.
just listening to different music, their timing always seems like they're on a different. They're like on a weird timing structure.
That's a whole other thing. What Danny Carey is doing in that band, he's freaking amazing, and that's like math rock, prog rock, math rock, and it all syncs up, and they're taking it to another like brain level and that stuff. I love that new record. So I just listened to it on the airplane coming home the other day, and it's just amazing way it was recorded and how he doesn't really use the snare drum as a snare drum. It's more like it's a tom sound on whenever there's kind of like a 2 and a 4, which is not often in Tool music. And the way he uses all of his toms to create grooves is just off the hook. He's one of the greatest drummers around, man.
One last thing really quick before we get out of here. Just a few quick. We got rid of talking points to, of course, expedite the show. But I'm just going really fast if I can just go down these really quick. Tom Cruise really loves the future, such as movies like he's going to show you now, Edge of Tomorrow, Minority Report. Just whatever Tom Cruise does is always has something to do with some type of futuristic thing because he's into that. My friend David is a narcissist. Within 15 minutes, you can tell Cameron Diaz is nuts. The film was actually named after a Monet painting. Scientology definitely intertwined all throughout this film, such as Benny the f***ing dog. They really pull off the love story between Cruz and Penelope. That f***ing rave scene was like, it was something like 1998 in real world. Like they're in there trying to show about they're in love, but everybody's clearly on ecstasy, painkillers. Like, don't think I didn't notice that. Cats, I said the Egyptians saying, and they also said, this is when I really, the first line I heard that I knew that he was a narcissist. It said consequences, David. Consequences. Kept saying whatever David did was consequences. And the last thing I have to say about this film was this, is that the reason why this film really fucked with me in the beginning was because I looked at this is that I don't even have to look at it. I do, because I have the actual notes right here. Sorry. I have it here. We as people are so programmed that the moment something really seems off to us, most of us will go into a panic attack. Like at the first beginning of the film, when Tom Cruise is driving around and he notices no one is on the New York streets and he fucking goes crazy. And he didn't stop to think that, hey, maybe guys, maybe there's a curfew in effect. No reason why we would have one of those. Or maybe there's been an emergency or something like that. He immediately just stops, gets out of his car, and starts running. And it shows me, guys, we're so programmed that if things aren't exactly how they are, we would lose our fucking mind. We must use our mind, take off our mask, and, hey, see that there's a vanilla sky out there for all of us.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.